What's going on, guys? I'm Seth with Oklahoma Joe's, and today I want to talk to you about our Flex system of accessories that works with the new Rider series of pellet grills. Now, if you haven't seen the new Rider series of pellet grills, we got a lot of photos and videos out there. Go check those out and then come back and learn about the Flex system. So looking on the inside here, the Flex system is really split into two different components. So we've got a set that works with the secondary cooking racks, which you see up here. And then there's a separate component of the system that works down at the grate level with the removable insertable grate system. So I want to talk about the part of the system that works with the secondary cooking racks first. Now you'll notice that these racks come out and there's a bracket system in the back of the pellet grill. So there's 5 connection points there. So that gives you a little bit of modularity with where you want the secondary cooking racks that come with the grill to be connected, but that's also what the Flex rack accessories are gonna work together with. So we have 3 different Flex racks, and I'll show you those now. The first of which is a rib rack. So this is a standard rib rack. It works, you put the ribs in here and hold them up vertically. There's 4 slots, so depending on the size of your ribs, you could either fit a whole rack of ribs in each slot and hold 4, or you could cut them in half and put 2 full racks of ribs here on this one rack. So the Flex rack systems it's split into a third compared to the size of the secondary cooking rack. So you've got 3 different options that you can mix and match all the way across the system. They hook in just like the secondary cooking racks. Very easy to install. The second rack that I want to show you is our combination pepper rack and drumstick holder. So you'll notice this wave pattern of wires here. There's different size holes throughout. The way that this would work is you would drop a drumstick bone side down through this, and it would be held by the meaty portion of it, so it sits up just like a lollipop. And then you do the same exact thing with peppers. So with jalapeno peppers or serranos or whatever it is that you want to do, you stick them in here, it holds them vertically, you find a hole that holds it correctly, and then you sit there. You can mix and match even. You can have, you know, drumsticks going on here, and then you have peppers on the next row. Whatever you want to do, it's very flexible. The wires are designed in such a way so that they can bend slightly in case you need to kind of force a large piece down in there, and it'll hold just about anything you can put in it. So that fits in just the same way. And then the final part of the Flex system of racks is basically just an extension of the warming rack. So we took the warming rack, really split it into thirds, and so this is just your multi-purpose rack. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is there are certain foods that you could do down here at this level. So you could have something that's tall, let's say a big turkey or even just a big brisket, and you don't want to lose the secondary cooking area, but there's no room for it to be here. So by splitting this into 3, you could put one on the side, put one on the other side, and now you can have the tall, big food right here in the center, and you can still have sides or additional cooking space right here. So this whole system, it's called the Flex system. It's all about versatility, additional functionality. It's extremely customizable. There are 5 connection points. There are 3 racks. You can buy 6 of the same rack. You could buy 1 of each. You could do whatever you want to do there. So let's say I had, 15 racks of ribs that I need to cook. Load up the bottom, get 6 of these, all the way across on one layer, come down all the way across on another layer, and you can have this thing absolutely loaded up with one type of food. Or if you want to mix and match, again, you just find whatever combination of racks works for you. All right, so now that we've covered the Flex rack system, I want to talk about the Flex Grate system. So you'll notice on the DLX and on the 900 version of the Rider Pellet Grill, there's this circular rack in the middle, right? So you can take this section out, you can do it barehanded if the grill's cold, or you can use your grate lifter if it's hot. So you take this grate out, and in the circle that's left, we've got 2 different accessory pans that will fit in there. Both of these are similar, and I want to talk for just a second about the construction of them. These are made of a heavy carbon steel, so it's pre-seasoned, but it's one that you treat it a lot like cast iron. You need to oil it and season it. You build up the coating over time. It's great because it gets better the more and more you use it. The more you build up that coating, it will last a really long time, and it gives it a great flavor on the food. So the first component of the Flex Grate system that I want to talk about is the deep dish. This is a deep dish, but it's very large. So it is about 18.5-inch diameter here, and just for comparison, that is roughly the size of your average kettle grill. It's about 270 square inches of cooking surface in here. So this is much larger than a cake pan or something like that. It is a large cooking area. All right, so the deep dish, it's got the carbon steel construction, the super large area, and it's got the high vertical walls on the side. Now this dish will fit in It fits perfectly into the circular area where we remove the grate, and that has it flush at the grate level, so it's getting direct heat. It's a really good fit. And what you'll notice is that this fits underneath the Flex rack system. So whether it's the secondary cooking area or the Flex racks that you have in there, you can cook primary food down here. You can cook some additional stuff up top. One of the things that we like to do, if you're doing, say, fajitas, you can do those down here. You can have tortillas warming up on the side. You're not interfering with your primary cooking space and taking up a lot of space. You can do whatever it is you need to do because you have multiple layers that can be customized to whatever it is that you want. All right, so I've talked to you about our deep dish. Now I want to show you the next component, which is our griddle. So just real quick, the differences between these two. You'll notice they're very similar construction. The main difference is going to be in the side walls. They're the same size overall internal cooking space, but the side walls of the griddle are lowered down and they're flared outward, and that's really just to allow you to treat this like a griddle and get in there with a spatula and things like that. With the deep dish, the tall vertical side walls would make it difficult to access. You know, if you're trying to flip a pancake or something right up against one of the walls, that makes it a little tough to get a spatula down in there. The benefit of the tall walls, of course, is if you're doing something like stir fry and you're flipping rice and things all over the place, it helps kind of hold the food in place. So whether you go with the griddle or whether you go with the deep dish really just depends on what type of food it is that you might be cooking. The other thing I want to say is because of the carbon steel construction of this, since that's directly over the fire pot, there's no additional barrier there. Once this gets heated up, it retains heat extremely well. So it works great as a griddle, breakfast food, stir fry, whatever you want to do there. This is a completely functional cooking surface. You don't have to treat it just like a pan. This is basically like turning your pellet grill into a griddle top. All right, so that is our Flex griddle. And really that's the Flex system as a whole. As you can see, the whole system is really just about flexibility and versatility. It's about being able to customize the smoker to do exactly what it is that you want to do. You could load this thing up with nothing but rib racks and just be all about trying to get as much of that on there as you can at one time. Or, as you see here, you can do 5 or 6 different types of cooking simultaneously. You can have griddle food here, you can have secondary cooking area, drumsticks and pepper roasters, ribs up here. Really can do whatever you want. It's only limited by your imagination here. There's no limit to what you could do. Infinite possibility of combinations with the Flex system. It's really just all about customizing it to what you need. At Oklahoma Joe's, we're dedicated to helping you get the most out of your smoker. We welcome your questions, comments, and suggestions about our products and videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest product news, tips, and recipes.